giving up. And I'll leave this future behind me. I'll keep going, nothing can stop me.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this emergency episode of My Portfolio's on Fire! You know, I've got one guest, so we'll go ahead and bring him on. How you doing, Joey?
I'm rough.
Rough?
Really, really fucking rough. The fact that he waited to 4:01.
Well, you knew he was going to do it because that way, because you knew if he did it while markets were going and the market started to tank, it would be a bad look.
Yeah, but I also thought it was going to be
futures did it for him anyway.
I thought it was going to be 10 to 25%. I didn't think it was going to be global, and I sure shit didn't think it'd be on the people who do the base, like provide the labor, the labor itself. Like, yeah. What the fuck, people?
Well, we'll get into some of the tariffs here in a second, but just this bloodbath in futures, like everything, all the stock markets are red. The VIX is going insane. Bond yields are up. Oil is down because they're expecting economic output to be going down. Gold isn't even doing that hot. The dollar has dropped 50 cents. I mean, like the DXY went down, which means that, they're expecting less demand for the dollar, which means, international trade to go down. And this is just like I'm sure some of this will rebound tomorrow. Like this is a reaction in the moment.
We don't know what Europe's going to do. We don't know what Asia's going to do because we haven't even gotten a response.
Well, and Asia is going to get the first crack at it because
Asia will be the worst.
Well, as we know, before we get too far into it, that I saw break yesterday of China, Japan, and South Korea will jointly respond to U.S. tariffs, which is like getting a cat and a dog to get along. Like these three countries historically have not liked each other, but they're going to expand free trade amongst each other in response to these dumb shit tariffs.
Yeah, the lions are laying down with the lambs. Like, down is up. I don't know what else to tell you. We're like, this was I would have never 5 years ago thought Japan would say absolutely to a trade network with just Korea, much less adding China in there. Right.
And I want to listen to this whole speech. It's like 40 minutes long, but I want to get the beginning clip of it. And then actually he gets out the poster board and we'll go over that. Manuel, are you tired of winning? I don't know. I don't feel like I'm winning right now.
What do we win? Syphilis?
I don't feel like I'm winning right now. Just going to say that. Not very winning-y going on here. Yeah, let's get this started.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Nice crowd. What a good-looking group of people. Well, we have some very, very good news today, and a lot of good things are happening for our country. Please sit down. My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day. Waiting for a long time. April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again. We're gonna make it.
I'm gonna need a citation needed on that one.
Just wait till we get to the Great Depression. That's where
wealthy,
the citation
good and wealthy.
belong.
For decades, our country has been looted, pillaged, raped, and plundered by nations near and far, both friend and foe alike. American steel workers, auto workers, farmers, and skilled craftsmen, we have a lot of them here with us today. They really suffered gravely. They watched in anguish as foreign leaders have stolen our jobs, foreign cheaters have ransacked our factories, and foreign scavengers have torn apart our once beautiful American dream. We had an American dream that you don't hear so much about. You did 4 years ago, and you are now, but you don't too often, and for many years and decades even, you didn't hear too much about. Our country and its taxpayers have been ripped off for more than 50 years, but it is not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen. In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting...
Wait. We can executive order tariffs?
Yes.
Now, I remember a time when conservatives thought that executive orders, using the executive order to circumvent Congress, was a bad idea. It seems to be the order of the day with this administration. Just saying.
So Congress has basically handed over their balls to the executive branch when it comes to tariffs, in the name of being able to react quickly to global financial trends. They said we cannot move fast enough to do this, so we're just gonna trust that this is never going to happen. That we will never have exactly what is happening right now.
Reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal. That means they do it to us and we do it to them. Very simple. Can't get any simpler than that.
We're going to get to those numbers that they use. I have some curious questions. I'd sure like to know how they're doing their math, but
well, they're definitely not with China for sure, because China, they said, oh, it's 34% for China.
Yeah.
Or it's
they did the fuzzy. China, so I'll get to the clip where I'll get to the clip where they talk about how they get to their reciprocal tariffs number, because
this is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our declaration of economic...
Yeah, just like the tariffs right in the middle of the Great Depression. It's so great.
Oh, no, he goes into a whole rant where he says if we would have kept the tariffs, the Great Depression would have never happened. Like 5 minutes long about how we're still living under...
Do you have a timestamp for that? Because I want to hear this idiocy.
I was watching Hassan Live when it popped up. He was doing the watch through of it.
For years, hardworking American citizens were forced to sit on the sidelines as other nations got rich and powerful, much of it at our expense. But now it's our turn to prosper, and in so doing, use trillions and trillions of dollars to reduce our taxes and pay down our national debt, and it'll all happen very quickly. With today's action, we are finally going to be able to make America great again, greater than ever before.
Citation needed. Especially on the on tariffs paying for everything. Like, again, it used to be a time and place where conservatives realized that if you tax things too much, then it reduces that thing being done. So
that is the stated goal. They've specifically, the Commerce Secretary specifically has said their goal is to lower demand.
But then how do they get these tariffs to pay for all the shit they say they're going to do?
They don't. They don't understand that you can't have both. You can either use tariffs to encourage domestic production, or you can use tariffs to collect taxes. You're never going to get both because they're mutually exclusive.
Like most taxes are. And it's much like sales tax is like one of the most regressive form of tax. Since it goes broadly against everyone, those that have the least amount of income to be able to pay, because they say they're taxing them, but all taxes at the end of the day are paid by the consumer.
Well, except for windfall taxes. Those are the only ones, but those would be legal. You'd be legally bound not to pass those on. So, but we don't have one, so it doesn't matter.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country, and you see it happening already. We will supercharge our domestic industrial base. We will pry open foreign markets and break down foreign trade barriers, and ultimately more production.
What? No, that's not how that works. Pry open trade barriers with tariffs? What?
He's in the white room. Let him cook.
He's in the white room.
He does not know where he is. He's in the white room. He has gone away. He will come back at some point and realize what he is saying.
Will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
No, absolutely no, it won't. It'll mean higher prices. What? I can't do this, Joey. I can't do this all evening.
Will be indeed the golden age of America. It's coming back. We're going to come back very strongly.
He doesn't know the difference between the golden age and the gilded age. The golden age is what he's actually trying to bring back. And the golden age was when the Titans ruled over the earth with an iron fist and were liberated by the gods. The gilded age. The
Joey going way back in time.
No, it just drives me crazy. He keeps calling it the golden age, and I'm like, no, it's the gilded age. You're talking about William McKinley. You mean the gilded age.
Pleased to be joined on this momentous occasion by Vice President J.D. Vance. J.D., thank you. Thank you.
J.D.
Finally
Vance,
got him out of the couch.
Trump's
off the
Oompa
couch.
Loompa.
Thank you very much. Where are you, J.D.? No, that wasn't too hard to find. I was looking, he likes to take a low-key attitude, so usually we sit right in front. He's gaining a lot of confidence, Mike, isn't he? And nearly my entire cabinet is here.
Okay, I'm done with this circle jerk. Let's move on.
Let's just pull up the chart.
I've got the chart.
There we
I've got the chart video right here, and then we can look at the chart.
So, if you look at that, China, first row, China, 67%. That's tariffs charged to the USA, including currency manipulation and trade.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's favorite fucking bullshit economical thing. The currency manipulation. Yeah. Can we put an asterisk by that, please?
We manipulate our currency all the time.
Like that's the thing that's funny about it is
it's called monetary policy. You literally, that's the definition of monetary policy is fluctuating the value of your currency.
Well, first of all, currency fluctuates based on supply and demand. Number two, how the currency that can have the most effect on anyone's economy would be our currency. We are the reserve currency of the world. Every international trade is done and priced in dollars. Like, what are we fucking talking about here? And second of all, what does the Fed do when it adjusts interest rates? Does that not distort free market value for the currency or of interest that's paid? Like, it's gobbledygook nonsense. It's every country sets its monetary policy, including the United States. Using a weasel word like currency manipulation is such utter trite bullshit.
Well, we're paying the price of the bullshit from the Bush administration, who are the ones that. I mean, you think stupid stuff isn't going to have consequences, or just changes in language aren't going to have consequences 20 years down the road. But here we are. 20 years ago they started using it, the Bush administration, and now it's accepted as fact.
Also, I want to say there was a different video that I saw where he was talking about, or maybe he gets into it on here. I'll let him.
Trade barriers. So 67%, I think you can, for the most part, see it. Those with good eyes, with bad eyes. We didn't want to it's very windy out here. We didn't want to bring out the big charts because.
Then set up a fucking projector screen and a projector. Like, what? This is such.
They're in the Rose Garden. Like, there's nowhere to do that.
Don't do it in the Rose Garden. Like, this is so dumb. What are we, like, you had the choice to pick the venue and to get your.
This is their first Rose Garden event too. What a way to kick it off.
This is so silly. Like you come out with this chart that like even I've got it on this blown up 4K monitor. Well, actually it looks better to our viewers. Why does it look shittier on my 4K monitor than it looks? I'm just gonna roll with it. But like this is so fucking junior varsity shit. This is your key policy point for your whole campaign, and you've got this shitty fucking poster board. Hey guys, can you read it in the crowd? Do I need to get a magnifying glass for you?
It had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So 67%. So we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%. I think,
Joey.
In other words, they charge us, we charge them. We charge them less. So how can anybody be upset? They will be, because we never charge anybody anything. But now we're going to charge. European Union, they're very tough, very, very tough traders. You think of European Union, very friendly. They rip us off. It's so sad to see.
He can't even, dude, you had time to prepare for this. What is with this nonsense? Like he
we wouldn't have so much of a problem if he just wasn't, if he would look at the teleprompter instead of looking at the chart. Why is he looking at the chart instead of the prompter?
Well, he's trying to be very off the cuff. That's always been the Trump thing. But at the very least, surely you have a situation where you can say emphatically how the European Union has screwed over Americans. And he can't, even off the top of his head in the moment, come up with something. Or like notes on the podium.
Make the Commerce
or
Secretary
something.
hold the chart. Make the Commerce Secretary hold the chart. Like, just bring him up there.
Or have him explain it while you hold the chart. It's his job. It's his one job.
It's so pathetic. 39%. We're going to charge them 20%. So we're charging them essentially half. Vietnam, great negotiation.
Essentially half.
This is the one where I lost it. This is literally the one where I went, I will never financially recover from this.
Great people. They like me. I like them. The problem is they charge us 90%. We're going to charge them 46% tariff.
Okay, this one is the one I have problems with. Not for you, Jolie, because I'm pretty sure I don't have any stocks that hang on Vietnam. But
no, but there's so many like products are made in Vietnam and then shipped back into the United States.
Well, here's the thing: is like Vietnam is kind of this growth market. So I know a lot of professional investors that are investing there that are not going to be happy about this. But number one, I understand from a policy why you'd want to tariff Vietnam. How much you're tariffing them and the fact that you're doing it at all is not only an economic bad move, it's a foreign policy bad move. One, I get why they want to do it, because China has used Vietnam as kind of an end around. They move their stuff through Vietnam, or they set up factories there for it to be made in Vietnam to try and get around the tariffs. I get from why the White House would want to do this policy. But here's the thing. If you're trying to conduct this, like China you see as your big enemy, like Vietnam should be someone that you should not be doing this sort of thing to, because they'd be a good ally, because they have a constant problem with China where they don't want to be like after they got done kicking us out, they then had a war against China where they did the same thing to America. Like Vietnam would be an ally you'd want. And the fact that you're doing this is fucking dumb. You should
Vietnam
be
is a
asking
vassal
for
state
more
of
free
the United
trade
States.
to integrate them more economically with us, so they aren't relying on China. This is so dumb on so many levels.
We are going to drive them into the Chinese's arms. They are our vassal state, and the Chinese are going to be like, "Hey, come here, we'll help you," and great. That's just another proxy that we've given away, another economic trading partner. Stunning, just when I heard 46, I was like, oh, he's really doing this. I thought there would be a cap.
No.
I legitimately thought there was going to be a cap of some kind.
No, clearly not. There's some other ones up there that are also pretty high.
Taiwan, where they took all of our computer chips and semiconductors.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. He's going to... This is one that was also very dumb. You're going to tariff Taiwan. What was it there? 32%?
We used to be the king, right? We were everything. We had all of it. Now we have almost none of it except the big...
What are you fucking talking about? We have almost none of it. Like, even if the microchips aren't made there, the two main companies that make x86 chips, like AMD, AMD, where is AMD? I want to make sure before I open them out. But Intel is an American company for sure. And AMD is based in... Yeah, it's based in California. So they may not make the chips, they may not fabricate them, but they design the chips.
No, but they
they
design them. They own this. They own the intellectual rights to them.
Yeah, Intel owns the architecture, the x86 architecture that your computer PC's processor runs off of. Like this is economic, like understanding not only technology and economics, it's the understanding of a fucking child.
Biggest company is coming in. We're going to end up with almost 40%. Lee Zeldin's working to get their approvals. And it's an amazing company. Mr. Wei of one of the great companies of the world, actually. They're coming in from Taiwan, and they're going to build one of the biggest plants in the world.
No, what was that, Joey?
He doesn't know the name of it. He knows the name of the person. He does not know the name of the company.
What was he talking about?
That tells you. There was a big chips deal where they're building a chips factory in the
Intel.
United States. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of having bags in a company, I'm going to be joining many people I know on social media who have Intel bags.
Maybe the biggest.
Thanks a lot, Trump. Guess what? It's down 4% in after hours. Thank you, motherfucker.
Just for that. But 64%, we're going to charge them 32%. Japan, very, very tough. Great people. And again, I don't blame the people for doing it. I think they're very smart in doing it. I blame the people that sat right in that Oval Office, right over there, right behind the resolution.
I don't think that's going to win you any sympathy points by saying, oh, I don't blame the people. I just blame the former administration for letting it happen. Like, dude, just own your shit. Just own your fucking shit, you fucking coward.
Desk or whichever desk they chose. Japan, 46%. They would charge us 46%.
It wasn't
Intel.
It was TSMC. It was TSMC.
Well, then that is Taiwan Semiconductor. So yeah.
Yeah.
Items like cars, little items like cars.
TSMC and Intel.
46%, which
building factories. So
charging them 24%. India, very, very tough. Very, very tough.
This is very, very tough on all of them. Just stop with the fucking bullshit. Just own your shit.
Well, eventually, India. I think India is going to be the one that is going to surprise us in retaliation. Modi ain't fucking around. He's also a hyper nationalist. He is also an absolute authoritarian. Like, don't fuck with Modi.
Prime Minister just left. He's a great friend of mine, but I said, you're a friend of mine, but you're not treating us right. They charge us 52%. You have to understand, we charge them almost nothing.
I want to see how they crunch their numbers on this. 52% tariffs and the currency manipulation.
They can just add anything
That's basically the point. They can make up whatever bullshit number to justify the number on the other side. That's all that is. The number is made up. Like what House said, everybody lies. Those numbers are fucking lies. It's just there to justify the number on the other side.
For years and years and decades. And it was only 7 years ago when I came in, We started with China in charge. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China in tariffs, and they understood, honestly. President Xi understood. He said, look, I understand, and the other countries, and they all understand. We're going to have to go through a little tough love, maybe, but they all understand. They're ripping us off, and they understood it. Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo.
Oh, here we go.
Shinzo Abe.
You know what? It's really great to make up quotes of people who are dead and can't respond to your bullshit. It's really great.
Yeah. I was no fan of Shinzo Abe, but Shinzo Abe would never sell out the Japanese people like this.
He was a fantastic man. He was unfortunately taken from us, assassination. But I went to him and I said, Shinzo, we have to do something. Trade is not fair. And he said, I know that. I know that. And he was a great gentleman. He was a fantastic man, but he understood immediately what I was talking about. I said, Shinzo, we have to do something. He said, I know that. And we worked out a deal, and it would have been a much better deal, but frankly, there were many years left in the deal that was made previous to my getting there, but it was something. If you look at Switzerland, 61% to 31%, Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia, oh, look at...
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru.
So here's the entire list. Let's look, fucking, some of these.
Oh, it will get bigger.
Oh, I bet it will. I bet it will. Some of these I don't even get. Why? Switzerland. Why are we singling out Switzerland to the tune of 31%?
It's arbitrary. That's all it is. It's completely arbitrary. I'm sure there are other countries on this planet that tariff it. Oh no, is this page 2?
There's 2 pages.
Yeah, I forgot about page. Yeah, and then there'll be more. Trinidad and Tobago.
What even is going on there? It's El Salvador even getting dinged, even though they're basically becoming a prison camp for people we don't like.
It's a penal colony. It's our Australia.
Also, what did Serbia do to get 37%? These numbers are silliness. I don't even.
You're giving them an excuse at this point. You're giving every country in Europe that is not a part of the European Union to join the European Union, where they will be welcomed with open arms. You are essentially isolating us to where the only people that are going to want to deal with us are the Saudis and the Russians. Because Russia's already pretty much cut off from the world economy. And this will give China an excuse to absolutely just completely cut Russia off, period. Because now they have other potential close trading partners in Korea and Japan.
What?
They can just axe any deals they have with Russia entirely. So
we looked at the futures, but I think it's also crazy the move that happened in the bond market. After hours, when this dropped, the 30-year dropped 20 basis points. That's a crazy move. 20 basis points.
Yeah, demand for these is only going to get worse
because it's going to be risk off, and you're basically suggesting bond market moves. When it moves like this, it's suggesting that the economy ain't going to be so hot, and that's a fair, I'd say a fair estimation considering the amount of tariffs.
Notice it is treasury bonds. Yes. Other bonds, not so much.
Well, it depends.
Anything
I had one, and I hadn't talked about this one publicly so much. It did all right today, but it wasn't great. MCI, which is a bundle of corporate bonds and certain other derivatives. It's been this is the thing I was surprised about. Normally the S&P, obviously, equities outperforms usually corporate paper, but over the past 3 months with this unsureness about where Trump's tariffs were going to do, MCI has actually outperformed the S&P 500, and it could be that continues. Let me switch here. I'm gonna play screen share with, and it could be that's what's going to happen, because like these companies may see.
Oh fuck! Line go.
Well,
down.
yeah, that was today, but like overall, if you pull it out, like this was like the peak of the S&P, and of course it went down with it. But while the S&P has been trading sideways, it's been coming back up. Now it's had a pretty steep drop off these past 2 days, but like I'm up on that.
Well, everyone legit just they all just thought, oh, there's no way he'll do it,
and then he did it.
This
that was the funny thing. Like you go back to VU
goal
here, and let's pull it back to the 15 minutes. Like it was rallying into the announcement before it went.
Look at the pattern right before the Canada tariffs too. It's the exact same thing. It's we're going up to the line. Oh, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It happens.
Like
big dip.
Like
it's not going to happen again. It's not going to happen again.
Well, that's
big
the thing is like the thing that I've seen with like Trump recently is like, you know, people remember back to the first 4 years that he did, and everyone was like, you know, he said he was going to redo NAFTA, and he ended up basically with some minor changes, we got NAFTA. Like he didn't really do much. So people were like, oh, he's going to, this is all talk. And then it's not this time around. Like, it's like everything is vindictively about his ego because he didn't get the second term. He got interrupted by Biden. So now he's taking a match to fucking everything, and he just has zero fucks to give except for his ego. That's the only thing that matters in this equation.
I mean, he's just kind of doddering around. At least before he had Larry Kudlow in his ear. And I hate Larry Kudlow. I think he's a bad economist. I think he's bad at the stock market. But he had someone telling him just the bare bones. He does have some bare basics to it. It's like, Mr. President, you're going to kill the economy if you do this. Now he's surrounded himself with people, and Kudlow is on the screen. Just you can see the pain in his eyes as he's trying to just keep going with it. Yes, there is they always keep saying, well, there is a possibility that this does some good. None of them will just flat out say no.
The other thing that I've been really surprised about is I've been looking at value plays heading into this, because I think when you have an economy, when you have this sort of situation where the economy is expected to go in the shitter, like value plays are going to start looking a lot better rather than the risque growth stuff. But I was really surprised
fire sale
with GFR. It may dump with the way that oil and gas is dumped. And this is a Canadian oil and gas company, but it's been doing pretty solid ever since I got in, and it's been kind of having a trend up. What I really like about it is, now let me pull this up here. I've got my spreadsheet chart here. This is the one right here. What I kind of rough it. This is my screener just for like looking and picking out things. And then I, look more at the financials and stuff like that. But like, this is a company that's trading 75% of its book value. And if you throw in book plus the earnings per share, it's trading at about 70% of its value. And the like fair value price I have for it is about $8.52. And it's trading at like what, $6? So,
it's a steal.
So like there's a couple plays like that. I was looking at Ring Energy, but the problem with that is the revenues are declining. So there's a reason why it's heavily discounted. It's because the company's not doing that great. But like, that's sort of the things that I've been looking for. And I don't know how many of those are out there. And that's what I'm trying to find. The problem is like,
my biggest hesitation is I don't know what the domino is going to be. So I don't want to be in the first company or even the first sector that the tariffs just absolutely ravage. So I'm kind of frozen. I don't know what to do other than buy bonds.
I mean, I don't blame you. That's where about half my portfolio is right now. I've got some handful of speculative plays. Like I also picked up some shipping companies because I figured even if there's a trade war, these shipping companies are going to be shipping between countries, not the United States and another country, but other countries that are going to cooperate and it'd be okay. But
there's a European Starlink competitor that all the European countries that are canceling their Starlink contracts. Germany is about to get rid of theirs. All of those companies are essentially there's a way to circumvent the American market, but it requires trading in European stocks. But so goes America, so goes the rest of the world as far as our market. So I don't know how long that can last.
Yeah, I was also looking at consumer staples because those tend to hold ground in times like this. But even those, not a lot of them are looking great. Consumer discretionary, I would stay the fuck away from. I was going to look at health, but like I don't know. Like that's the one I was starting to crack into, but I just don't know that sector so well. And
what about private prisons?
Well, I haven't gotten to real estate yet. Those are usually filed under REITs, under real estate. But yeah, I mean, you say it jokingly, but seriously, that might
I'm not saying it
might
jokingly.
That might be a good play. Financials could do just fine, and that might be something to look at. I haven't gotten quite there yet in my screener because almost like every other quarter I go through and clean things out, and I've been doing that. There's a couple that I'm looking at, but like I wouldn't pull the trigger right now. Like there's this one, it's right here. It's CAAS, which is China Automotive Systems. They basically make, car parts, but they're based in China, and that's why they've got a really low price to book and are really cheap, but their earnings are also falling off. But I have a feeling that it's going to get much cheaper and I can wait. But I think I won't pull the trigger on that yet, but I think that's a really good opportunity that's probably going to come up, but we'll see. There's still plenty of work to do on these, and it's just,
yeah, Core Civic's up 20% in the last month. They're I think the second largest private prison company in the country. 20%.
Oh, wow, things got redder since we last checked. Even cotton and silver is down hard. Gold kind of start. Wow, the USD down another 20.
Another 20 basis points
since we last checked. Bonds continue to just keep going. Oh, there's your Nikkei over here is Asian, down almost 4%.
The Nikkei's down 4.
Well, about 3.25.
Oh, Asia's gonna.
Asia should be opening up now, shouldn't it? Should be getting that time.
1:30 Greenwich Mean Time.
So they should have been open because that Greenwich Mean Time is like what, 7 or 6 ahead of us.
It opened 10 minutes ago. Asia opened up 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, now it's dipping back down. It's closer to 4%, 3.94. That's
they were expecting. It was at 2 when I got off work, and now it's down 4.
The Russell is getting absolutely eaten alive. Those are your mid to small cap companies, and obviously they're the ones that are going to feel most of the pressure. 4.25 down in futures, almost 4.5 now. So as the Asian
commodities looking like?
As the Asian market opens, you're going to start seeing these other futures respond to the Asian markets trading of them. I mean, you've got NASDAQ down almost 4%, S&P almost down 3%, or I mean 3.25, 3.5 on Nasdaq. What would you say commodities?
Yeah, what are the commodities looking like? Not gold and silver. I'm talking about like real shit. Coffee.
Coffee's down a half.
Wood.
Lumber's down 2.25. Palladium, which is your car parts, is down 1.5.
Yeah,
Copper down.
that might be the only metal that I would look at.
Copper down 2.25.
Copper can't go down much lower. Copper's cheap right now.
Well, that's a bad sign economically. I mean, if copper's going down, that means you're starting to. That's less wiring. That's less economic output potentially.
OJ down 5%.
Good. I can get some orange juice stocked up.
I know. Although what worries me right here is
economic indicators, like right here, both WTI and Brent down. Brent which is your European oil, because that's UK, right? That's down 2%, and then WTI is West Texas Intermediate, which is down 2.5. Nat gas down 1.5. So, those are not good economic indicators.
You're in Kansas, so I mean, everything's down. Wheat, corn. So farmers are going to get killed.
Well, at least
farmers are absolutely going to get murdered.
Wheat, corn, and soybean oil. Yeah. Oats down 3.5. I don't know.
I mean, I know we like to look at individual stocks a lot, but when it comes to the raw goods, this just means demand has tanked.
Yeah. Well, let's look at my front page, which is a big swath of a lot of things. I mean, we saw VIX was down. These were the numbers from close, and those don't update until next open. These aren't futures that I got here, but DXY, look at that, just absolute leg down, and it keeps falling.
That drop,
yeah, like that is a complete gap down between,
like off a cliff.
What was that? That was 7:15 our time. Between 7:15 and the next DXY BIP at, no, that's 17. So that'd be 5. Sorry, that's military time. So that'd been 5:15 to the next BIP at 7 o'clock. Just that leg down is disgusting. Two-year treasuries.
At this point, who wants to prop up the dollar when the euro?
Speaking of leg down, there's the 1 hour chart. Let's make it 15 like it was earlier. But you see the same leg down. It's starting to recover, but you see the same leg down in Bitcoin, because there's that about.
Oh, when the dollar collapses, everyone will want to go to Bitcoin, and no.
USO it has an overnight.
Oh, it's almost a perfect line too. With if you put it up against the Bitcoin, it is almost a 1-for-1.
Is there a way on here? Let me see. Is there a way to compare? Let's compare with DXY.
It is almost a 1-for-1.
Well, this isn't exactly, because it doesn't want to line up properly, but yeah, you can see DXY there. That leg down is sort of at the same time, but like there's no way to really, because Weeble's kind of shite. But yeah, like everything rolled over the minute this announcement happened. But yeah, like one of these days we'll get, like, I wish we had the rest of them on, because I'm sure we could talk, stocks a little bit more and maybe look into things. But like this was a bad day for everybody. There were no winners, only losers today.
Well, I wish Amy the best. I know she's going through a lot. I just wanted to let her know I'm praying for her, praying for her mom.
Yeah.
Hope everyone's doing well.
Also, if you guys could spread the word, Saturday, we'll be doing our new series, Truth Be Told, which is kind of taken over for Princess of Mount Stupid since our little bit of a reboot. If you can spread the word that this is now where we're at because of PP Seeds being a dick bag. Everyone that used to watch the live stream that we did, this is where it'll be happening at. Make sure to pass it around. Pass around the link, which should be there on the page for the live stream, so we can get all the people who were watching back here watching for Saturday. I'm sure we'll be going over the tariffs with them. It's not one of the main topics. The main topics we'll probably be talking about is I've got some stuff set up for talking about Fannie and Freddie, since those are probably going to be taking out, like the Trump administration plans to take them out of conservatorship. I have some stuff set up for us to talk about on that. I've been doing some
good luck on the market,
doing some looking at the financial statements and the numbers for both of those companies. We're probably going to be talking about Tesla and some Musk stuff, especially considering he might be told to go on a sabbatical by the Trump administration. We have some meme stock stuff. We have some bankruptcy stuff. I know me and you were talking about it in the Discord chat, the whole 23andMe thing. That's going to be really interesting in bankruptcy.
Yeah, where's your DNA going?
Who gets to buy that in bankruptcy from you? Well, from the company. And since you technically don't own your own DNA information, just terrifying world we live in. That's why I never, did any of those like DNA testing things. That's just something about that. But we'll talk more about that in those bankruptcies. I'd like to get into doing more of the bankruptcy stuff that I used to do, where we, listened to the hearings and things like that. So some things to look forward to. But yes, Saturday will be our first Truth Be Told episode. If we could see you then, we'd appreciate it. Till then, I'll catch you around. Might also have some actual like edited content. We'll see as I figure out how we want to do things going forward. But catch you guys next time. You guys have a great rest of the evening and stay safe out there.